You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are Robin. And it is time to talk about NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver Night 2. A pretty good show that just ended. It ended like kind of late. Like really, really late. Like they gave us, I was going to say like a regular takeover over here in Night 2. And pretty good matches. Like you said, way better than what we saw yesterday. A lot of people loving Ciampa and Walter. All right. You can have your own taste. We didn't like that too much. Raquel Gonzalez, new women's champion. But this, I think, out of the two nights, it was really, overpowered the other one by far.
Yeah, I agree with it. Pretty much the whole show was really good. The women's tag match I really wasn't into. I feel like it's because we just saw that matchup in, the Dusty Classic for the women, so it really wasn't fresh. It wasn't interesting, and we knew the winner of that one. But all the other matches, I thought it was, you really didn't know who was going to win. It was, it was up in the air. The matchups were intense. It was legit. Some surprises with some of the winners we saw tonight. Other ones, maybe a little bit predictable, but overall, I thought this was still a great show and better than night one, I would say.
Absolutely, and don't forget to catch 9-1 with us right there. It's like Raquel, like we mentioned before, she wins the women's championship. We got to see Walter and also Tommaso Ciampa. We got to see like a lot of the gauntlet match, a lot of like good stuff. But like this night was a lot better. So please, watch with us the review. Also, don't forget with Jean-Paul. AEW Dynamite. You guys think that we're not going to do Dynamite? Yeah, we're going to do Dynamite. Tyson joins the inner circle too. Kind of held the ratings, but this time NXT beat them in the last night of the Wednesday Night Wars. So at least WWE can get one on them. And so like it's not even, but at least they go home with like a smile on their faces. Don't forget Jean-Paul, every single thing he covers all of that. Good show, bad show, Jean-Paul? Let me know really quick.
Yeah, I mean, this was to me just like a normal run-of-the-mill episode of AEW. They did their normal stuff that they always do, the things that don't make sense. But, I mean, this was all right. The big things here was the Young Bucks. They turned heel, joined Omega. I'm fine with that. And we see this Inner Circle Pinnacle feud, Blood and Guts, May 5th. I think it's too soon. I think you really could have dragged it out, but that's how Tony Khan is. That's how the booker of the year is.
They need to space them out a little bit more because like those kind of matches you cannot give them on regular TV. You need to give them on pay-per-view. That's why people pay that. But
exactly.
That's what we have. So be with us, subscribe. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel. We love you all. So of course, this has to be a pre-show match, and this match was actually to determine the number one contender for the new tag team champions on MSK and Breezango and Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. This was pretty much, hey, we don't have anything else to offer to the family. Everybody's just getting ready. They're sitting down. They're buying the hot dog, the hamburger, all of that. So this was really quick. Breezango looking, of course, non-serious, and that's why these guys never can be considered as champions. They were champions once, but we actually kind of pledged for that. We were asking for that. In the end, right away, Killian Dane and also Drake Maverick, they win the opportunity. It was like a big power bomb. Killian Dane grabbing their own Drake Maverick, his own partner. He does that until I think it was Fandango 1, 2, 3. So we have new number one contenders. What do you think of this? This is
I don't think there's going to be a title switch, especially because, it's babyface versus babyface team and all that. MSK just won it. They're the new team you brought in. I mean, I guess it's good for these two guys to finally get, featured in something, but I'd rather see Killian Dane featured on NXT UK in a singles run, but, it is what it is.
It would be really legit if he could join also Imperium. I mean, it would make a lot of sense just because of Wolf and Eric Young, but at least something different for this guy. But that's what we had. That was a pre-show. So NXT Stand and Deliver Night 2 opened up with the unification match, ladder match for the Cruiserweight Champion. This match we've been waiting for the longest time. We wanted to see it. We had all our hopes in this match. They added a stipulation of the ladder match to make this a lot more enticing, a lot more excitement for the fans. Santos Escobar, Jordan Devlin. Your thoughts on this, Jean-Paul?
Yeah, I mean, this match was really great, and this was a good match to open the show, I thought, because it was, cruiserweights, ladders, it was exciting, it was fast-paced.
Tell me about the mask. You're a big fan of masks.
Oh, yeah, I love this. I forget what it's something like the Mask of Death because he had to, conquer death or something with death, in this match because it's going to be
triangle. That's what it was.
Yeah, something like that. But, it's because this match is, so extreme and everything. So, I love the mask. This looks awesome. And I like how he, just saves the mask for big events, pay-per-view, stuff like that. He doesn't wear it every week and everything when he comes out. But, this match was fantastic. And I was actually surprised by the winner, but I liked how I would say it was pretty even. No guy really looked Well, actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about it, Santos actually looked really dominant in this thing. At least, from I would say the midway point to the end. Devlin kind of looked a little. It was like even, and maybe Devlin looked strong in the beginning, but they think this match really solidified Santos as being legit.
Yeah. Like this match, like see, like we got to see a lot of athleticism from both guys. We got to see the tornado DDT right there from Jordan Devlin. Like you said at the beginning, he got the upper hand of the match, dominating a little bit. Santos Escobar will equalize like really quick, and he will just be like pacing it out a little more because Jordan Devlin was kind of like trying to speed it up, but Santos was like, no, we're gonna go my way, we're gonna go my rhythm. I'm gonna have like I'm calling the match here, but like you said, Jordan kind of. It seemed like for me it would have made a lot more sense if he would have won it, because we thought that like we said like Legado del Fantasma is gonna show up eventually, which they did, and that's the picture for you. Ay cabrón, right there for Santos. But like you said, like this like Legado del Fantasma coming out and trying to interrupt kind of ruined it a little bit athleticism wise. Like look at that. That's how Io Shirai should hit like the moonsault, don't you think?
Oh yeah, I mean that was a beautiful spot when he did that moonsault off the ladder there right onto Santos, and even when he had Devlin on the outside and he kind of did a suicide dive, pushed Devlin into the ladder, was legit. And even in the beginning when Devlin kind of did almost like a moonsault off the apron onto or it was a springboard onto Santos, and it looked like he actually whacked his head on the announce desk pretty good. But just the athleticism from these guys, and Devlin is so smooth, he's so legit. And I think this match, I would say, probably turned to babyface. We'll have to wait and see when he appears on NXT UK if he's still a heel. But he was definitely working babyface in this match. Santos was definitely working heel. It wasn't like heel versus heel or anything. But, this was really good. And then, like, you had the end picture here. They were both on the ladder. The big headbutt. They had the ladder, draped in the corner.
They pushed him really hard, yeah.
Yeah. I think he headbutted him, actually. And then he falls. Breaks the ladder, and then it's like, well, this is the time. If Santos doesn't win here, he's not going to win. Because I'm thinking he better just take down the belts, not do something stupid like let me do like a 360 splash or something. No, just take the belts down and win it. That's what he did.
They do the Spanish fly, though.
yeah. Well, they did. And Jordan Devlin, he hit the Spanish fly. Like you said, everybody does the Spanish fly nowadays, so it's really not even that special, but it's still a beautiful-looking move. But the one thing I was worried about is when Legado came out, I'm like, oh, man, if they don't win or if Santos doesn't win, then that kind of buries all three guys. But luckily he did win, and now we got to wait and see what's next for the Irish Ace.
And look at the consequences. Look at the repercussions of like what happened in these ladder matches. Of course, all of them, and at least see, this is how a ladder match should be. It needs to be brutal. It needs to be, hurtful for whoever's in it because they don't happen that often. So it makes a lot of sense. And like you said, Santos Escobar like unifies. He's the undisputed champion. And also like he had a beautiful picture with his kid, gets the mask on, and like, remember my words here. I'm staying like this will be like kind of at the beginning for like a future Dominic right here. This is absolutely great. And like even if he's heel, this kind of moments is what makes wrestling so great. So
and that's what kind of confused me. I was just like, couldn't he have celebrated? I mean, it was legit, but in the world of kayfabe, like, couldn't he have celebrated with the kid backstage to bring him out? You almost want to cheer these guys, but you're like, no, they're heels. Like, but I guess
we both love our, like,
heels and baby faces don't exist anymore.
Oh yeah, we really love our Hispanic guys. So like in the end, Santos Escobar unifies the championships, and he's the undisputed champion. We'll see what happens with Jordan Devlin, like you said. So let's move on really quick to our newly crowned tag team champions in that MSK, and that's how we look, when we get a new subscriber. Whee! That's right, we get a little pamper right there. And they were just pretty much talking like who you're rooting for, Karrion Kross or like Finn Balor, and how you guys feel about Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. They were just like talking, how you guys feel. It's like, we're gonna win in 2 seconds, it's fine. It's like no contention over there. So that's what we had. And then let's go really quick with this match that, like you said, we've seen this like really not too long ago. This was like the semifinal on the Dusty Cup for the women's, and now it's for the tag team championships. Is the way with like Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell going against Shotzi Blackheart and Amber Moon. This was just pretty much the same match that we've seen before. I mean, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, like they were doing some tag team moves, which made it a lot better to watch. Yes, but in the end, like there was no title switch. So to me, it's like, hey, we need some like 10, 15 minutes to cover. What do we do? Let's have a tag team championship match, right?
Yeah, and with the overrun you had, like this went almost to 11 o'clock, 10:45. It's like, I don't know if we really needed this match.
No, we didn't.
But, they wanted to feature them on the takeover, and it's like Ember Moon, the first woman to hold the women's tag belts and the women's championship. So, that's legit because they were saying, oh, it was Raquel, and it's like, no, it wasn't. It's actually Ember Moon. So,
Yes.
this is a good showing for the baby faces. And I thought Indy Hartwell, I thought she looked good in this match, better than in the match in the Dusty Classic. And Candice is always solid. I always think she delivers a good performance. But, no title switch. And I thought, you don't want to play hot potato with these belts. You want to solidify them that, hey, they're held by legit champions, even though the first champions, like I said, held them for maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Yes.
But, you with what we saw in the Gargano-Bronson Reed match, I thought it would have been cool. I mean, now that's, of course, after the fact, but the show's booked in advance. So, what am I saying? It would have been cool to, see the way, have these women's tag belts. But, we didn't get that, but this was all right. I'm not going to be like, oh, this sucked, or oh, this was fantastic. But, good win for Shotzi and Ember. I would just rather see them maybe in a singles run, because now they're two single baby faces that are in a tag team when now you have a heel as a champion, and they could be going against Raquel.
Exactly. So for you guys that want to know, Eclipse and then the coffin drop, because it's the coffin drop. Like, they have a different name, but it's the coffin drop. Same thing.
Well, she does like a senton. Darby, like, he kind of hits you with like his whole like body and his back, where like Shotzi kind of hits you with like the ass. So
Sheetsy. So yeah, there you go. That's right. That's right. So we get to see like a little bit of like Karrion Kross, Finn Balor getting ready for their match. That was absolutely great too. Like, you kind of like, they give you like the sportsmanship. They give you like, this is like for real. So also, like, we got to see Gable Stevenson. He's like an Olympian that has already Kurt Angle's the signature. Like, he's like loving for him. He says he's going to be a great star.
And that Danny Hodge, he was one of, like, for the old school wrestling fans, he was one of the most legit guys out there. So to win that Danny Hodge award, that speaks volumes. Newer fans might be like, huh? Like, exactly. That's not the Kenny Omega award, but no, Danny Hodge, legit. So I'm looking forward to seeing this guy.
When we got to see like seriousness in wrestling, there you go.
Yes.
Absolutely right, Paul. And then we go to the North American Championship, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed. This match actually, like I said to you through text, this is how like Tommaso Ciampa and Walter should have been. The same kind of peacefulness, and actually like Gargano attacking as much as he could, giving him everything he has. But every single time that Bronson had some offense, then Gargano would have been almost done because he doubles his size. So that's how they should have played the match. There's no even matchup if the two guys are like different in size and power, at least for me. But
I agree with you 100%. Yeah, but this was good. I'm going to be honest, I forgot this match was even on the card, because we saw that, with Karrion and everything, and I'm like, okay, we got 2 more matches left, and then you see Bronson Reed coming out. I'm like, oh shit, that's right, we have this match, and I'm like, Bronson Reed, Tsunami, and done, whatever, don't care. But no, this was actually really good, and we say it all the time, so I should just stop doubting him. But Johnny, when it comes to TakeOver, is fantastic.
Oh, yes.
There was one little spot I'll get to, which kind of annoyed me, but,
and otherwise... I have a picture for you,
okay, good.
So you can elaborate on that, so we're going to go through that. But like
Johnny,
you said, look.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Johnny is he's so good at takeovers, and, it sucks because his character is kind of shitty. Like, the heel and that he's playing is not very good, but when it comes to takeover matches, he's great. The way he sells for Bronson Reed, and just the way that he, gets his offense in. Where, like, Bronson Reed hits the announce desk, and then, his ribs and his stomach and everything was really hurt. And then that's where Gargano was attacking and everything. It's just, everything he does makes sense.
The abdominal part of, like,
to wear down a bigger opponent.
The main story right there, that's what he did, like the spear, like when he goes through the ropes and all of that, like you said, that was really cool. And this is the spot that you're going to talk about, right here. That right there, like Austin Theory, like also like trying to help out, but like you said, like the leg was already through the rope, right?
Yeah, because I forget what Bronson Reed actually hit on Gargano, but if it was the tsunami or what it was, but he kind of rolled over to the ropes, and his arm was underneath the ropes, and then you see Gargano, he like sucks his arm tight against him, like he's, I don't even, like, I can't even, like, someone who's wrapping him up in saran like a mummy. They just, like, he sucked his arm right against him, and then so it wouldn't be underneath the ropes, and then Theory put his foot on the ropes and was like, oh, look, his foot's on the ropes. And then that was just so Bronson Reed, because, he was pissed, and then he went out and punched Austin Theory, whatever. It was also Austin Theory could get beat up, but, why not just have Gargano put his arm under the ropes, and then, the ref goes 1, 2, and then, oh, no, I see his arms under the ropes. Oh, sorry, Bronson, and then...
Especially, like you said, adding details like that makes wrestling more, like, special. And
especially
it, like,
when you
like,
saw Gargano... Yeah, now, if Bronson Reed pulled his arm pulled Gargano's arm, then that would have made sense. But when Johnny pulled his own arm out from under the ropes, I'm like, really?
Hey, boy.
It's like, are you trying to lose?
Don't you think that like if you do that, then you're not gonna lose? But
Yeah.
like you said, that's a good spot. Like I said, Bronson Reed did the dead eye. He missed the tsunami. Like he did one, he connected once, but this happened. Then he tried one another time, couldn't connect, and then Gargano did a super kick, and then he did like the final beat, like two or three times to beat him.
Yeah, twice. He actually, instead of the tsunami, I think he almost went for like it was almost like the Bam Bam salt. He almost like Bam Bam Bigelow, like he almost did that, and that's what he missed. And then, like you said, the two final beats.
Final beat.
Yeah, so that was good. And see, don't you think if you would have did the title switch, you could have had Candice and Indy come out, and like this picture would have been more badass, and at least been like, hey, the way was jokes for the longest time, but look who's holding the gold.
No, yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It should have been you're saying it, and even they were saying it in the pre-show. They were saying, "Oh, this is the opportunity when the way can actually have a lot of gold, and they can establish them as the way instead of being considered like a joke." Because even in the pre-show, they're like, "Ah, well, they say all these things, but when it comes to winning matches, when it comes to have gold, they always fall short." They never do it. So that's what, like you said, this would have been a lot better. But at least Gargano, when it comes to fighting, he's one of the best, top notch. Probably the top 5 in the world. But like you said, the character, like the identity that he's presenting is not good. If he will be a better heel, then we will be really invested in him. But unfortunately, Austin Theory and all of that is not good. When talking about really good heels right there, that's how you have to be presented. Adam Cole. See, like all the security is back, behind him, and is like completely focused on what he's going to do with Kyle O'Reilly, and we're going to see in a minute. And talking about losers, there you go. So in the middle, not much of a loser, but like, I had separated shoulder to the left, and nobody talks about it. Everybody talks about Karrion and Balor. I'm the one suffering the injury right now. Nobody gives a fuck. And then Lorcan is like, no paycheck. That's fine. So, like we got the show in there. So we're going to see. Tell me a little bit about this championship match. What are your thoughts about this? I want every single detail from Jean Paul. Karrion Kross against Finn Balor.
This was good. And, it's funny. You and I got off topic talking about Rocky Balboa during this, but that's because we said this was like a classic Rocky movie where Finn Balor's playing the smaller, leaner opponent going, hey, I can outlast you. At the end of this, you're going to be tired. You're going to be blown up. And that's when I'll hit my knockout punch. And that's kind of how this was setting up. Karrion was really beating him up, laying in the offense, and Balor's just laughing, smiling. And even commentaries like, why is the champ laughing? Like, he's getting his ass kicked. What's going on? But it was all into Balor's game plan, and he was, like you said, he was getting the offense in on Karrion Kross. And you're like, at first, you're like, well, shouldn't Karrion be more dominant? Because that's something we've been complaining about, with Walter and Ciampa, Bronson Reed, Gargano, and everything. But it took maybe 5 or so moves to equal the damage of one of Karrion's moves. You know what I mean? So Karrion would hit him once, and it would completely shut down the offense.
And remember that's what we said, that all the other, like the one in the middle match, that's the one you just talk about, happened. But in the one with Ciampa and Walter, like everything was like equal. So that's why it bothered me also. Like, you're right.
But I mean, this was really good. I like this match. And Balor, when he hit the coup de grace, I thought it was kind of soon in the match too, as well, because this match wasn't very long. Also, to be honest, at least to me, it didn't seem very long. Maybe, once it started going.
20 minutes around that.
Yeah, but I mean, when Balor, he hit the coup de grace, you see Karrion, he kicks out, and he goes right into his submission, just like the straight jacket hold, and he has that on there. And I mean, I thought it was almost going to be over there. And then give me your opinion on this spot. Now, I know it's TakeOver, it's championship match, so maybe it's like, hey, we'll let these guys fight. We won't call it. But then he gets towards the ropes, and he starts really laying in these forearms on Balor. And Balor just lays there like limp. And I thought the ref was actually going to call it there. I thought that was going to be the end of the match.
I thought the same thing. And like he went like Ilya Dragunov mode. Like he got a chop from Walter. And then he went like all like ballistic. And like, to me, it's just like you're telling the story that he's way more powerful. Yes. So like you said, remember, like whatever he does, then Balor was completely like, he can never like equal him, like when it comes to strength. So that's like his advantage towards Balor.
Yeah, and then it was Saito suplex, the punches to the back of the neck, 1, 2, 3, pinned him, and I mean Balor, his main attack and main focus of this match was going after the arm, the shoulder, and everything of the injured or recently healed shoulder of Karrion Kross, but it wasn't enough. The only problem I have with this match is just the ending was kind of flat. I thought if you would have called it right there, then it would have left the door open to a rematch, because there's no real number one babyface, I think, besides maybe the winner of, the main event we saw, there's no real babyface to challenge Karrion Kross. Nobody's on that main event level in NXT, at least as of right now. So, if Balor would have lost by the ref's decision, that would have gave them a reason to book a rematch. But instead, we saw a clean win, and we see Karrion, he regains the title that he never lost.
Yes, absolutely. He gets it, and Scarlett, see Karrion had like a skirt or like a kilt or something like that. So representing warrior. He was a warrior. He went to war with Finn Balor. That's fine. And like you said, he gets this title, and we'll see who gets the one to challenge. And a lot of people are saying that maybe Finn Balor is the one that is going to get called up once again to the main roster. I don't think so.
Well, with what we'll give a spoiler. I think it's going to be Finn Balor versus Walter for the NXT UK Championship. We'll just say that. So,
and that's fine. Like I said, and hopefully that will be the match that it will end. Will end Walter. We'll see, because we're going to be talking about NXT UK Prelude tomorrow. But we get to see this, and again, Doomsday for everybody. The end was near for Balor. He came. Karrion Kross is the champion one more time. He joined Samoa Joe, he joined Shinsuke Nakamura, and Balor himself, that had been NXT champions twice in their career. So good stuff. We were thinking Balor was going to retain. Unfortunately, they gave it to Karrion Kross one more time. So we'll see if he lasts, he has a good reign with this title, or he just drops it in the next takeover, and then he just moves to the main roster. That could easily happen. So we'll see what happens on that. Now let's talk about the main event. This main event was absolutely great. Really long, though. Really long, and like you said, this actually main event the show. We were thinking about Karrion and Balor main event, but again, this rivalry was cooking for the longest time. The Undisputed Era, the most successful staple on NXT. There was a reason why these two guys also debuted new theme songs. Adam Cole does not have the Undisputed Era theme song anymore. Kyle O'Reilly with a new theme, also new gear for both guys. So everything makes sense on this match. Let's say also for the giggles, Poppy was the one that opened up the show right there. She, like you said, it was a screamo. I'm kind of like a rocker.
The only thing I'll say about Poppy is she should have did night one, because she sings Io Shirai's theme.
Yes.
I feel that would have made more sense for her to be on the show that Io Shirai was on, but it was what it was.
Exactly. So after a little bit of the intermission right there, tell me about this match. Really, really long, way longer than what we thought, but really told the story. And that's why these two guys get everybody's praise, because they actually walk us through that journey. We were best friends, but when the same time, with that same intensity, we're going to kill each other. And that was, Finn, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole.
I only have two problems with this match. One of them was how long it was. It was definitely too long. Now, they told a story and they took you on a journey from beginning to end. There was never a thing where it was what are they doing? Well, I have one thing where I was oh my God, really? Is that what they're going to do? And I'm sure you know what it is, but it was just...
Yeah.
I'm just it was a little too long. I feel you could have told the same story, the same intensity. There was a lot of moments in this match where I'm oh, this is the ending, and it wasn't. And they kept going and going, and it's these guys have the fighting spirit. They kept going, but realistically, it's you could have ended it here, told the same story, and people would have liked it just as much. And my other problem is just not to jump ahead, to jump back, but I'll do it anyway, is just the chair spot. I believe we saw that in the Moxley Omega or Moxley Kingston, whoever it was. When you sit in a chair and start shit-talking your opponent after you were just beating the hell out of each other and start slapping and all this stuff and kicking, that to me completely takes me out of the match. If you're that tired that you need to sit, then you probably should just end the match.
Or should do more cardio, so you can just keep going?
To me, that's so lame. That's one of the stupidest spots in wrestling. But these guys did grow up on the indies, so hey, they it's hard to take the indie out of the wrestler.
Yeah, but it's you can take the indie out of the wrestling, but something like that.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You can take the indie.
You can
out
take
of
the wrestler out of the indies, but you can't take the indie out of the wrestler.
Out of the guy. Yeah, there you go. And that's Indy Hartwell. But you said,
exactly.
They play with the chairs. They gave us the chains, all of that. I like this spot a lot when he did the Shining Wizard. He didn't do the last shot. He did the Shining Wizard because he's on the front, and then he almost beats him, and the chairs were right there. Also, Kyle O'Reilly here doubting. You saw Riley he was about to beat him, but with the Steve Stubbs and all of that, and he doubted. He's he's my best friend. In the end, he kind of in the last second, he has no. He's it's my best friend. I can do that. But then, Adam Cole, like, more, he doesn't have any mercy for Kyle O'Reilly. He got, like, all these, tools right there. You got to see the chair with the Undisputed Era logo. But like you said,
Adam
that
Cole
part is
actually,
just a little, like, overdone. I don't like that too much. But yeah, walk me through like this one. Where, like, he
the Undisputed Era chair. I like how Adam Cole brought that out with him at the start. And, there was the big suplex or brainbuster, whatever. I think it was just a suplex on the announce tables. And then Cole was done. And then he smashes O'Reilly's head with the TV monitor and everything. And like you said, then back in the ring, they get the toolbox out. And I don't remember if this was, I think it was before it, but I love the spot where they had the chain across the ring and he did like the backstabber with the chain onto O'Reilly. I mean, it was really good use of all the tools and everything. And then like you have this spot here where he's kind of has his neck through the chair and he's about to, just, not, I wouldn't say concerto, but he's about to, flatten his face with another chair. And this is another spot I hate, but I know why they do it because people have conscience and they're trying to sell it like it's real. But the ref's like, no, don't do it. And it's like, ref, you're here to count 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Shut the hell up. And then, Cole even knocked the ref out. He's like, you shut up.
And then he was about to win it. And then
and then 1, 2, 3. And also another thing, a minor pet peeve, but it's just a pet peeve, so I won't even say it's a complaint, is I don't like how the crowd was like, Adam Cole, Kyle. Like, why you cheered Adam? You shouldn't be cheering and being like, fight forever. These guys are, you're saying fight forever? If this is real, these guys could be like crippled after this match is over.
Yeah.
So don't be like fight forever.
No pun intended on that, and that word usage. No pun intended on that. But like you said, for example, like the fans go like that, and then Big Joseph and also Beth Phoenix, stop what you're doing. Don't do it anymore. Let it go. Let it go. It's done. It's over. They even went through like the rampage right there. Boom. Like they
through the ramp. O'Reilly kind of had like the guillotine kind of choke. He had the guillotine choke on him. And then Adam Cole just like, dove right through the ramp there. Then they roll out of the side. And see, that's where I was just like, not where is this going? Because they're leaving the ring. But I'm like, how much more can these guys do?
Yes. And like, they did everything. That's the one thing is like they did everything. Like you said, after that, Cole was about to win it. Now Kyle O'Reilly still has life into it. He counters with like the figure 4. You see the pain. You see the intensity. There's life yet in between these both guys. But then you see like the injuries. You see everything that happened. You see right there, like look at Kyle O'Reilly's back. You see all like the black and blues, all of that, like the bruises, everything that happened there. But in the end, he used the chain. He put Adam Cole in the middle of those chairs, and then he wrapped the chain around like his, I think it was his knee, and then he did that really great move that he does. That's his finisher. He does that knee, and then he pins him. Also, he did the last shot on Adam Cole.
And you know what? He actually and I'm not saying it's better than all of Adam Cole's, but in recent memory, I think his last shot looks better than Adam Cole's.
Yeah.
It looks like it hits harder. Sometimes Adam Cole, when he hits it, it looks like he doesn't even touch the opponent.
It's
but
true.
He really laid it in there, and I like that because it's like, I'm going to use your finisher. That's like rubbing your face in your own shit. You know what I mean? It's just like it really gets under your opponent's skin. So that was a good spot.
It's a beautiful spot. I love how they always do it because it's also like the ultimate show of disrespect.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to finish you with your own move. And then how do you feel as the loser when like your own move is the one that puts you away? But like you said, Kyle O'Reilly, it's not surprising for anybody. We know that like Cole will put over O'Reilly, that's fine, and O'Reilly is going to be the next one push. I think if they do what I'm thinking that they're going to do, is going to be Karrion going against Kyle O'Reilly. Is it going to be great? I don't know because he fell short with Finn Balor. How can you convince me that like he's going to be able to beat Karrion Kross when Finn Balor like also beat Kyle O'Reilly? But we'll see what happens. But your thoughts on the end of this?
Yeah, I mean the right winner. I still like Adam Cole more. He's so legit. Like I said, he's one of the guys who's been so legit. When he says he's been carrying this brand of NXT, he's not wrong. But the story was set up for Kyle O'Reilly to win, and I think with the winner we see here or in the match before this, Karrion Kross, I think Kyle O'Reilly's the next guy being set up for him. Unless you're going to do a rematch with Balor, which I don't think. At least I wouldn't do it right away because there's no rematch clauses or anything. So I would say O'Reilly's the next guy in line, and I'm fine with that. Like I said, besides being a little too long, this was a great match. They told a great story, and a great way to end this feud.
Absolutely. So like this, concludes the review for NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver Night 2. We covered both days. I think this day surpasses the other one by a lot. This gave us like a lot of more intensity, more drama. Like you said, maybe like the flat ending with Balor and Kross, that's fine. I guess Karrion doesn't he doesn't drive onto like that drama, but that's fine. Family, thank you so very much for being with us. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and remember, tomorrow will be double feature. NXT, NXT UK Prelude, Walter Rampage Brown, so many other matches. Noam Dar with Tyler Bate, Heritage Rules right there for you guys. And Friday, is live. It's live with SmackDown, so it's WrestleMania week. We're gonna see the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, all the losers like mixing one shot, and another last shot, the Tag Team Championship. Right there, the Fatal 4-Way. That should have been for WrestleMania. No, we don't have a spot for you guys, so let's do it on SmackDown. So that will be live. 20 minutes after the show is over, we'll be right there. So where else can you find us, Paul?
And make sure you follow us, Rope Break on Facebook, OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, and of course right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
Family, we'll see you tomorrow then. You and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...